Hi guys, it's me again, Lalo. Tonight we're going to be doing a very traditional South American Inca dish. My mummy used to make this quite a lot for us in the summer time when the corn would come out and the beans. We call it Porotos con Mazamorra. Now, this dish is basically beans and in a cream of corn. We use corn kernels, which we'll zap through on the blender, 5 bean mix. I tend to use the canned beans because you don't need to soak it overnight and you don't need to cook them too much. Again, I'm a little bit of a lazy cook and they are quite tasty. We're using the pumpkin, carrot, basil and onion and some capsicum. I have the tomato and the avocado for a side salad that we will be serving with this dish. And like on previous occasions, mustn't forget the chicken red. Now, as I told you before, this is not necessarily for me. This is more for the camera woman. That way she will have more patience with me and will be able to take better shots. I will take a little bit of a sip because I believe wine should be consumed, and in this dish you don't really use it on the food, but I will tuck into it, so excuse me while I pour a glass. Well guys, with the cream of corn I like to cream it myself. You can buy cream of corn in a can, but I find it can be a little bit too mushy and quite sweet. Don't want it too sweet, so what I do is I buy frozen corn kernels. Fresh is always best as well, and you can cut your own corn kernels. I use for about 3 people about half a kilo of corn kernels. I let them defrost and get slightly soft. 4 leaves of basil leaves, about half an onion, which I will chop, make the job a little bit easier for the machine. It is a super duper food processor. And our corn kernels. So once we got those 3 ingredients in your food processor, we can give it a whirl. Pardon the noise, should only take a couple of minutes with this machine. And basically that's it guys, as far as getting the cream of corn ready. You'll see the consistency that I'm talking about. Beautiful cream of corn, and it's not too runny, but moist enough. Mixed with the basil and the onion. That's basically what you want. You want a nice pasty mix with enough basil going through it and the onion blended in. And our next step is to get our pumpkin cooking, because that's part of the base of our meal. We just get the stove heat up and we use some vegetable stock so that we can boil the pumpkin. And we boil the pumpkin to soften it up. So not too much water. Just enough to cover the pumpkin, and we simmer that with our capsicum. Remember that the onion's already in the cream of corn, so you don't need to cook the onion with your pumpkin. And our carrots. Now we boil this for 20-30 minutes until your pumpkin is soft, and we like to get it slightly mushy. You can serve it with little chunks. Preference again, I like it a little bit mushier, so I let it cook a little bit more than 20 minutes, and then we'll put it together. Okay guys, so now we check for the pumpkin. You'll see should be about half cooked, I would say. So make sure you can mush some of it. Yeah, that's about right. You can see some of the liquid or the stock has been consumed and evaporated. And this is the time we add the beans. So Make sure we get it all stirred through. Now we taste it for salt. Because of the pumpkin, I didn't put any salt beforehand. I just want to make sure with the stock and that if it needs any extra salt. Yes, a little bit more. And again, salt is to taste. Some people like it salty, some people like to put the salt later. I like to taste it once the pumpkin's mushed up. And we add the salt. Now we introduce the cream of corn. This is our Mazamorra. Now some people have a different name for it. In Chile, my mummy called it Mazamorra. And that is your cream of corn with the onion and the basil. Basically, that is it, guys. We just let it cook now, stir it in, let it cook for another, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes until the corn is cooked through. Make sure you stir it all nice through and leave it simmering for about 20 minutes, and you have your Porotos con Mazamorra. Okay guys, so the Porotos con Mazamorra to be cooked by now. It's taken about 20 minutes. You only want the corn to cook, so it should be nice and quick. For serving purposes, I like to dissolve a little bit of the smoked paprika in some oil and pour it over the top when you serve. Nice to blend in, gives you a little bit of a smoky taste through it. Remembering this is a vegetarian dish, well, it's basically a vegan dish because there's no meat whatsoever, it's all vegetables, and what we do is just warm up some oil and dissolve some of that beautiful smoked paprika in the oil, and once we serve it, you'll see how we pour it on. We're going to plate up, and I was lucky enough to be able to visit Le Chile Cafe in Mount Tambourine, where Nora and Alex, the owners, Chileans, wonderful couple. Nora does all the cooking, so it's home cooking, guys. If you're ever in Mount Tambourine and you're looking for a nice home cooked meal, I recommend the Chile Cafe. Now that's where I bought my beautiful clay dishes. So as you can see, it looks wonderful. It's thick, it's hearty, it's healthy, beautiful dish. And on these beautiful clay pots, as I said, they just make a great statement. Just presented beautifully. We get our smoked paprika and just pour over the top each one. You can hear it sizzle. Just gives it a little bit of depth, and for people who are not vegetarian or have just become vegetarians and are missing a little bit of the meat flavour, the smoked paprika gives it a wonderful bacony taste. Just to be fancy, guys, doesn't hurt. Just a little bit of basil on top. It doesn't just have to be healthy, it can be beautiful too. It's hard to get these little things. Now, tell me that doesn't look great. With a nice tomato salad and avocado. Us Chileans tend to be a little bit parochial and call it ensalada la chilena, or Chilean salad. Tomato, avocado, and very finely sliced onion. Sprinkle of some salt over the top, and I like to use avocado oil, so that way you infuse the avocado flavour on the tomato and the onion. Okay guys, so look, that's basically it. It's all very healthy and vegetarian, but as I always say, it goes much better, goes down much better with a glass of wine. Chilean red if you can get it. If not, any red will do. So, salud and provecho.